Okay, Wednesday morning in the kingdom, and I'm still itchy. Just the thought of playing with that pink insulation is just itchy, itchy, itchy. Plus, it's old insulation, so it has a dust layer or something. I find that the insulation, when it comes out fresh out of the bag, it isn't as itchy. But then again, if you're getting insulation out of a brand new bag, you have money, or a gold top visa, or a good credit rating. Yes, that's one thing I don't have. I've been a credit union member since I was 16 years old. Yes, and I've never had an overdraft protection. I've never had a loan or anything from them. I don't know why, but oh well. Okay. Oops. Getting noisy out here. Sounds like them super truckers. Alright, so this morning we woke up to -3, but feels like -9. It is chilly out here, plus it's getting frickin' windy. And then on the yo-yo scale, +25 Fahrenheit, but feels like +14. Oh, these lips. I'm suffering. I had to, drink the pain away yesterday from insulating, but we worked it out that it was warm enough that we could go outside to cut the insulation in and out and stuff like that and open the door for ventilation. But wearing that mask, I can't believe that we did that for 2 years, wear the mask. All right, so over here, somewhere over here, oh, there we go. Is everybody getting dizzy? I got the me phone pretty high in the air. There's the wheelbarrow. Yeah, the wheelbarrow full of the nails and everything from the big wood stove in the shop. We're just pumping those, nail-infested wood in there. Because anything to keep warm. Because we live at the end of the world. All right, let's do the quick scroll. Yes, the staff will be over this afternoon. I have to do some things this morning. And then we're going to the wilderness. Yes, wilderness, Alaska, to get some toothpick trees, but in northern Manitoba. Yes. All right, there's no sun. I don't know if it's going to snow, rain, or what it's going to do. But it'll do something. Well, we had fun yesterday. It's done. I went in there this morning, or I checked it last night, and it was all good. It feels so warm in the little hoe shack. So a happy hoe is a warm hoe is a happy hoe. Oh, I'm screwing up this intro too. I think I'm going to be known for my screw up intros. Yes, but once I have my beverage, I'm, doing a lot better. All right, so there's one full rotation and there's a breeze. All right, so there we go. Let's go dump this ash wheelbarrow and get the dogs out for their morning run. Yes. Oh, and here comes the boss. Always on time.
Wednesday morning in WHO-ville, and it's just after 9 a.m. and as you can see, there's not much of a sunrise. It's actually pretty cloudy out and there's a bit of a wind. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's -1 degree Celsius, which is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. Looks like it's going to be a cloudy day, so let's head inside, let the dogs out and make breakfast. Then at 1 p.m. I'll head over to the kingdom and see what we're doing today.
Okay, 11 o'clock in the kingdom. We're off to a slow start because I was a social butterfly. Yes, answering comments and emails and everything like that and getting things handled. So over here, we got the, recycled material out. Yes, some flat steel that's kind of straight, almost straight, but kind of bent, but that's good enough. We have to make some pieces. So we're picking nothing but the finest that's already pre-bent, all right? And we're getting into this flooring or whatever. When I told the guy, spec'd the guy to build that building or whatever where this floor came from, I told him a 2x6 floor, insulated. I didn't realize the guy would build a 2x6 floor and then put 2-inch styrofoam insulation on top and then screw nail it down. Like, that's pretty cheesy. Yeah, so this plywood will go nicely into the wood stove, which is keeping the fires going. All right, let's go check the wood stove. Okay, you can hear the wood stove going there. We're mixing that plywood crap with those extra long screw nails. Yes, that's pretty cheesy. And the wood we recovered on the weekend. Yes, this white wood burns. Some of it's rotten, some of it's still good, but it's working. All right, let's go check the workbench. Okay, we're over at the workbench and look at that temperature. It's nice and warm in the shop here. I turned the fans off for recording purposes only. Yes, we're charging up the batteries. All right, so we're going to take the mini hoe out of the hoe shack this afternoon, but we have a problem. How do we close the door when the hoe's out? Because we, ratchet strapped it to the hoe, not to the wall. So we have to build some little thingies here. So we'll weld the chain link on like that, drill some holes for the screws to go through, and that way it'll split the wood or whatever and pull it out. But this should work for getting the door to stay closed while we have the mini hoe out. So we prefer these 2-inch ratchet straps because we have lots of them. They're all over the place. Versus the 1-inch girly man strap. So these work very well. So we'll get this done We need 4 plates, 2 for the hoe shack door, and then 2 plates for the loader shed door. Yes, if we're making 2, we might as well make 4, and that way we screw up all 4, not just 2. Okay, lunchtime in the kingdom, and I did my welds, and then I brought them out here to... Oh, look at that. It's still hot. It's a good thing I didn't touch it with my bare hands. I had 1 pair of pliers, so I interlocked them, so I could carry them out here to put in the snow. But the snow is making perfect snowballs. Oh well, they'll cool down after lunch, and we'll install them when the staff arrives sober.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to make lunch. The sun has made an appearance, but it looks like there's some more clouds rolling in. Maybe we'll get even more snow. I think this snow is here to stay unless we get some extra warm days. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and make lunch. I think I'm going to have Kraft dinner with hot dogs mixed in. Almost 1 p.m. and I'm just finishing up lunch. Kraft dinner with hot dogs mixed in was pretty good. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 3 degrees Celsius, which is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It has started to rain/snow out, so let's head inside, let the dogs back in, get the quad out, and head over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. 1 p.m. and I made it to the kingdom. Looks like my dad has a little list for us to do. Well, if you look behind me, it is pretty windy out here right now. It was actually snowing on my way over here, then it cleared up. There is some blue sky behind me, but if you look to the other side, it is pretty gray out there, like we're going to get some snow. So let's head down to the shop and see what my dad's doing. Down in the hoe shack, and my dad is outside cutting a board to fit on the bottom of the door here and on the wall. That way we can put the strap back on and keep the door shut, because the last thing we want is the door to blow open. Now I'll go out and show you guys the board. Just measuring out the size of board we need for the door here. That way we can keep the door shut and lock it properly. This was only temporary. This is all recycled wood. We repurpose everything. Almost 1:30, we just got the plywood on the hoe shack attachment. Looks a lot better. The little brown hooks on either end there are to close the hoe shack. Hopefully it works a lot better than we had before. Now we can pull the hoe out and do a couple things around the yard. 1:30 and we're officially done in the hoe shack. It looks a lot better and way more secure. No more bending over to put the hook on and strap it down. Now I'll head over and get the fancy trailer, and then we are taking the hoe down to the rabbit tower with the trailer and doing a little bit of landscaping. All hooked up to the fancy trailer. Now I'll head down to the rabbit tower and wait for my dad to bring the mini over, and then we can start cleaning up the mess that's over there. Down at the rabbit tower now, and it is slippery. I had a hard time getting the fancy trailer backed into the spot, but we are cleaning up the stuff that we found when we were landscaping down by the rabbit tower earlier in the year. It's about time we come down and clean it before there's too much snow. Just through those trees and past that red ribbon is Roadrunner Rock, which goes down the hill and around to the muskeg and the kingdom. We came down here earlier in the year and it was wet enough that we could clean this area up. As you can see, there's tires, metal, anything you could think of. But then summer came and it got too hot. Now that it snowed, we can come down and clean it up without starting any fires. I would climb up the rabbit tower and show you guys the lookout, but it is way too slippery out here right now, and knowing my luck, I'd fall off the ladder or off the top and hurt myself, and that wouldn't be good. Just waiting for my dad to finish cleaning up, that way I can head over there and pick out the small stuff, then I'll take the fancy trailer back into the kingdom and grab one of the log trailers. Once I pick up one of the log trailers from the kingdom, we'll head over to Roadrunner Rock, which is just through the bushes up the hill like I was explaining in the last video. Then we're going to pick up some of the dead trees that are throughout the trail and then circle back to the kingdom. At least we'll get a good load of firewood. Looks like my dad found another tire. So far there are 3 different kinds of tires here. See, one there, and then one in behind. They're all different. 2 p.m. we just got the fancy trailer loaded. Now I'll head on back into the kingdom and drop this off by the box car and then grab another trailer and go down so we can get some firewood. Looks a lot cleaner in here now. Once the Mini comes back into the kingdom, my dad can turn the trailer around no problem. I just kind of left it wherever it ended up. Now let's go hook onto one of the log trailers. Got the log trailer hooked up, and I'll head back over to Roadrunner Rock and see what my dad's up to. Hopefully he was able to make it up the hill, and then we can start loading the dead trees onto the trailer here. Down at Roadrunner Rock, and we were able to get the quad turned around no problem. My dad actually turned it around and I moved the trailer, that way we could turn it around in this nice tight little space here. But now we'll load up some of the fallen trees and head back to the kingdom. While my dad loads up the trees, I want to take you guys over to Roadrunner Rock. We even have it nicely ribboned as well so we don't get lost in here, 'cause it is pretty thick. Follow the ribbon, kind of like the yellow brick road. Keep following the ribbon. Kind of have to go down the hill a little bit. It is slippery. Hopefully I don't fall on camera. And this is Roadrunner Rock. Roadrunner Rock sits on one of the hills behind the kingdom here, and just down the hill is the swamp. That's our little muskeg where we travel with the cat trains in the wintertime, but this is like in the movies where they had the big rock on the hill and they'd push it over and roll down. Now let's head back and see if my dad got the trailer loaded. 3 p.m. we just got the log trailer loaded. As you can see, it is a little heavy on the back end, so my dad's gonna have to pull me up the hill with the Mini and back into the kingdom. It is pretty slippery, so I don't think I'll have much traction. Now let's get going. On our way back into the kingdom, and as you can see, there's another fallen tree here, so my dad will drag it out, and that way we can load it up onto the log trailer. Had no problem getting up the little hill. My dad just towed me until I got enough traction. I was able to propel myself. Almost 3:30 and we just made it out of the North Trail. My dad had to pick up a tree on his way out. I got stuck once, but we're able to get out no problem. Now I'll wait for him to come over so we can load the tree on, then go around to the shop. My dad just went back in to go grab a few more fallen trees. We're just going to put them in a pile here because we have to cut all the branches off them. Don't want that down by the shop. I'll take this over and drop it off by the grader, if I make it over there. Just barely made it back up to the shop. Now I'll head inside and make my dad a coffee while he brings out some more fallen trees, and then we'll go down and empty out the fancy trailer. Almost 4 p.m. and it looks like my dad found some more fallen trees. Now we'll head over beside the boxcar and empty out the fancy trailer so that can get put away. I ended up hurting my ankle yesterday when we were putting all the insulation in the hose shack, so my foot is a little sore today and I'm kind of slow. Down behind the boxcar now, my dad was able to turn the trailer around no problem and ended up where it did because I was trying to make a wide turn, but the crank is on that one side, so I was getting hung up, so I just left it where it was, knowing my dad would be able to move it. Now he can unload it here. $4 p.m. we just got the fancy trailer to empty out. My dad is just scooping the last little bit out because we don't want it to freeze or else we'll never get it out of the trailer. Then I can park this up behind the house. Nice and clean. Now it's ready for next time. Just got the fancy trailer parked in behind the house. Now I'll head back down to the shop and help my dad put the Mini away and then figure out what else we're doing today. Just after 4 p.m. and I'm officially done in the kingdom. I was going to help my dad fill up the wheelbarrow and the wagon, but my ankle is extra sore from walking around in the bush and stuff, so I'll grab my dog treats and head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather at 5. 5 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 3 degrees Celsius, which is 37 degrees Fahrenheit. We even had the feels like on the bottom. It was pretty nice when we were in the bush, cleaning up the yard and picking up some firewood, but as soon as you got out in the open, it was extra cold and pretty windy out there. Now it's time to head inside. You can already hear the dogs. They've been out since I got home, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, to fill out the time card or finish out the day till 5 o'clock to make the boss happy. He's such an asshole. Yes, we cut the little ends off. Yes, the long ends or whatever. So it was a blessing going into the wilderness and finding all these blown down trees. So all this wind is a good thing because it's Mother Nature trimming up the forest or the wilderness. So over here, like a true woodsman, I'm displaying the saw. So those woodsmen always display their skill or their Husqvarna with 18 inches bar or 16-inch bar. Yes, but here we are in the Great White North. Yeah, it's wilderness, Alaska, but in Northern Manitoba, displaying the 7 1/4 inch saw. Yes, 7 1/4 inches, just enough. All right, so we cut up this green wood here, or the blow down trees. We got it in the wheelbarrow, so that'll slow our burn down because we're burning this crappy stuff over here and all those core boxes. So you got to mix it all in. It's a full-time job. But then again, if I had a job or a real job, I'd work and get a small little paycheck in the end, and then I'd have to pay my heat bill. Whereas here, I'm getting exercise, wandering around in the wilderness, cutting down the trees, cleaning up the wilderness, and plus the garbage. We can't forget the garbage. All right, let's go check on the flags. Okay, we've kind of warmed up. We got snowy mud, but the wind is chilly willy. When we were in the bush, we were sweating. We came out. Oh, it's cold. Yes, we are big time loggers. 7 1/4 inch skill saw loggers. That'll be our nicknames. Yeah, the skill saw loggers. Toothpick trees. Ooh, there's some wind. Let's check on the flags. I didn't untangle them this morning because I knew it was going to be windy and they'd self-destruct like me because we're going to celebrate. It's 5 o'clock. Let's go drink some beer. Oh, we got to walk the dogs, make a video, and then we'll drink some beer. Talk to you later.